And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, you know, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
Bill Maher recently criticized Zohran Mamdani, and it was both funny and harsh. The comedian and talk show host mocked Mamdani's far-left ideas, joking that his win in New York was like a perfect gift for Republicans. Maher didn't hold back. His take on Mamdani's politics was sharp, direct, and brutally funny. Let's get into it.
Bad ideas, and again, this ugly streak.
Well, you look
ugly streak of anti-Semitism.
Who's the most popular politician on the left?
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's, you know, Bernie is
Bernie, yeah.
Bernie is, I mean, he's not a capitalist, you know?
No, he's not, and he's also not president.
He's not, but
and never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, no, but he will, trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people, they boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
Bill Maher is absolutely right. Republicans don't need to create a villain out of Zohran Mamdani because he does that himself every time he speaks. With Mamdani likely to win the New York mayoral race, critics say his victory would be a huge advantage for Republicans. It would give them endless reasons to argue that the Democratic Party is drifting toward socialism. Mamdani calls himself a democratic socialist, but that label doesn't make most people feel any better. And Bill Maher isn't convinced at all. To him, Mamdani represents a kind of far-left idealism that might sound good in theory, but actually helps conservatives make their case.
It must be horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, you know, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
At first, Mamdani's ideas sound perfect, the kind of inspiring talk that easily attracts attention and support. But when you look a little closer, the dream starts to fall apart. His vision might appeal to idealists, but for people who've seen socialism fail before, it feels more like a warning than progress.
Every 20 years or so.
Wait.
We need every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can crack it up again. Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess.
Socialism has failed so many times that most people want nothing to do with it, except for some younger voters who are drawn to its idealistic promises. The problem with socialism isn't just greed, it's human nature. People need motivation to work hard, create, and move society forward. When competition disappears and everyone is rewarded the same, productivity drops, bureaucracy grows, and corruption spreads. History has shown this again and again. When the government tries to control everything, the system eventually falls apart. Mamdani's policies, full of free handouts and heavy government control, might sound caring at first, but they don't work in reality. Without economic freedom, progress slows down, and in the end, everyone struggles, just not in the way they expected.
LGBTQIA+ workers, beyond saying that we're going to establish an office of LGBTQIA+ affairs, is also that we're going to provide $65 million in funding for gender-affirming care, the same amount of funding the federal government threatened to pull out from local providers for that kind of work. And in this moment especially, if we want to fight the Trump administration, we have to do so by fully funding our own services, taxing the wealthiest New Yorkers and corporations.
Britain is a clear warning example. In the early 1900s, the country embraced socialist ideas, promising fairness, equal opportunities, and a better life for everyone. It all sounded great at first, but within a few decades, things went downhill. Successful private industries were taken over by the government and buried under red tape. Productivity dropped, prices went up, and the economy slowed almost to a stop. The dream of equality ended up spreading poverty instead of prosperity. By the 1970s, Britain was struggling so much that people called it the sick man of Europe. It wasn't until Margaret Thatcher introduced free market reforms that the economy finally started to recover.
He has attacked you personally and publicly like this.
He's not a socialist. He's a communist, okay? This is not a socialist mayor. This is a communist.
I don't like to see a communist become mayor, I will tell you that.
I call him my little communist. He's my little communist mayor. We should never be in a position where we're talking about a communist.
We're going to end up with a communist mayor. It's not even believable, my beautiful New York. I think if a communist takes over New York City, I think that's a gift to the Republican Party.
Last time you were on this program, you were unequivocal in saying you do not like capitalism. But Trump, just in those remarks there, I counted, called you a communist 8 times. Are you?
No, I'm a democratic socialist. I've said that time and again.
This is exactly why Bill Maher believes Zohran Mamdani could be a serious problem for the Democrats. Maher knows that when the party moves too far to the left, it pushes away the moderate voters it needs to win elections. Many Americans supported Donald Trump because they wanted to push back against what they saw as extreme progressive ideas, especially issues like gender-affirming procedures for minors. Yet Mamdani seems ready to bring that debate back. He's reportedly pledged to raise $65 million in private funds to support such programs, doubling down on one of the most divisive topics in American politics: economy. While Mamdani calls himself a democratic socialist, the way he talks and the policies he supports often sound just like those of far-left movements. Even if his intentions seem good, his ideas only strengthen the claim that Democrats are moving closer to socialism. In simple terms, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it probably is one.
Found is that this vision of democratic socialism, it's one that often comes back to what Martin Luther King said decades ago. A vision of, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism, there must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. Here in New York City, wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, 1 in 4 are in poverty. 500,000 kids go to sleep hungry every night. It's untenable to live with this kind of a divide. We have to actually have a politics that puts working people.
When you look closer, it's actually quite revealing. Mamdani's message might sound new to some people, but it's really just the same promises politicians have made for decades: equality, fairness, and opportunity. They use emotional language and carefully chosen numbers to inspire hope. But once they get into power, their real policies show up, the kind that punish success and slow down growth with too many rules. America doesn't need that, and neither does New York. The country has always thrived because of capitalism, innovation, competition, and personal freedom, the very things that built its success. So why would anyone think socialism will suddenly work now? History makes it clear, it won't. And Bill Maher understands that better than most.
Assemblyman, you're running for mayor of New York and not prime minister of Israel, but you've made inflammatory statements like calling Israel an apartheid state and questioning its right to exist as a Jewish state. Just this week, you were evasive with a reporter about condemning Hamas. Given New York has the largest Jewish population outside of Israel, why should voters who see this as a moral red line trust your clarity and judgment?
Well, I really appreciate this question and an opportunity to just clear up, I think, a number of misconceptions. First and foremost, you're right. I am running to be the mayor of the city, and this city will be the focus of my administration, ensuring that we make this a city everyone can afford and everyone knows that they belong to. And also, millions of New Yorkers, myself included, care deeply about what's happening in Israel and Palestine.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.